American Idol Rewind. Go back to the beginning with the one show that made America sing. American Idol Rewind. Coming this fall to Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
From Wrigley Field on a hot, muggy evening here. We're at the corner, of course, of Clark and Addison. And what a special night ahead. Really, we only need to say two words tonight. Clemens, Maddux. And we're here at Wrigley Field for Chicago Cubs baseball. It is game 2 of a 3-game series. Cubs beat the Astros in game 1 last night. Boy, what a night ahead. Should be a great matchup. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. Clemens, Maddux, that's all you have to say.
That's really all you have to say. I mean, these are two of the best pitchers of their era, of any era for that matter. It's the 3rd time they've hooked up. Fortunately, if you believe in history, Maddux's team have won the first 2 matchups between these 300-game winners. These guys are littered all over the leaderboard in every important pitching category. All-time wins, strikeouts, innings pitched, you name it. Maddux and Clemens are 1 and 2 in some order.
We don't know if they'll match up again this year, but every time we see this matchup, it could be the last such matchup. Not a lot of 300-game winners.
You know, Len, there aren't a lot of 300 winners that hook up, and, you know, baseball is not a game that lends itself to the big event, but certainly if there was ever a stage set for a big event, it's these two guys hooking up tonight.
All right, 667 victories, 11 Cy Youngs. Roger Clemens and the youngster, Greg Maddux, tonight here from Wrigley Field. We hope to keep the rain away tonight and bring you Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. We'll have all the action coming up next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. Crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer. By the Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
ZapToIt.com is the go-to website for everything movies. Want news and reviews right now? Zap to it. Gotta see the latest trailers? Zap to it. Need local showtimes and theater info? Zap to it. Avoid the long lines and get your tickets online at ZapToIt.com. Plus celebrity gossip, photo galleries, the latest DVD releases, and more. For everything movies, fast and easy. ZapToIt.com. What to watch, where to watch it.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp, with ideal flavor. It's clean, for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients. It's the smooth, flavorful result of beechwood aging. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Stanley Smith is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell his story, we hired a celebrity.
I love my car like my own wife.
He loved his car. Qué romántico.
When I wrecked it, I was devastated.
¿Por qué? Estaba loco. No sabía qué hacer. Desesperado. I gotta get going. Where I'm going. What am I gonna do? Help.
Geico repaired it within a few days, like new.
In a few days, reparado su carro y was repaired. Mejor que nunca. Better than new. Estoy muy impresionada.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
I'm so happy porque tú nunca sabes cuándo me van a dar un...
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball.
Way back, and it gets out!
Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Welcome back. as Greg Maddux and the Cubs take the field. He was the active wins leader before Roger Clemens re-signed with the Astros at the end of May. Should be a great night. Tonight's Cubs broadcast from Wrigley Field on WGN, your summer baseball station, is brought to you in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and presented in Dolby 5.1 digital surround sound. 325 wins against this Astros lineup. Another surefire Hall of Famer leading off, Craig Biggio. Mike Lambat second and plays first. Burke, then Berkman. Aubrey Hupp, the new Astro, at third. Wilson on his 32nd birthday. That's Preston Wilson. Ausmus, Everett, and Clemens rounded out.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Pepsi. Angel Pagan in left, Juan Pierre in center, Jock Jones in right, Ramirez and Cedeno once again on the left side of the infield. Ryan Theriot getting the start against the Rocket tonight at second base. Derek Lee at first. The red-hot Michael Barrett behind the plate, and on the mound, right-hander Greg Maddux. You know, as even-keeled as Maddux is, I even believe he gets fired up for a matchup like this.
No doubt about it. Hey, by the way, his earned run average went down, and he didn't even pitch. That's a pretty good day. Well, Greg Maddux yesterday found out Major League Baseball had actually taken some earned runs away, going way back to May 24th in Florida. Hanley Ramirez, a fifth-inning single, changed to an error. Cubs shortstop Ronnie Cedeno. So take a hit and 5 earned runs off Maddux's season totals. Larry Vanover back of the plate. Nart, Guccione, and the crew chief Relaford around the bases. And yes, Larry Vanover has worked the plate before with Greg Maddux on the mound. So they're back together again tonight, and so is Craig Biggio facing Greg Maddux. He's had more career at bats against Maddux than anyone. 123 career at bats and a .301 average. 85 degrees at game time tonight, and Biggio skies this one to deep left, and that is a leadoff home run for Craig Biggio. So Craig Biggio may be upstaging the matchup tonight. I don't think there's any question. 3 future Hall of Famers in the ball game, and Biggio announces his presence with his second leadoff homer this year against the Cubs.
You know, the future Hall of Famer who's getting the least notoriety in this ball game tonight makes his presence felt right away. Biggio just tucks it into the second row up there above the basket in left field.
He is second all-time behind only Ricky Henderson for leadoff home runs. That's his 49th. He hit his 48th off Carlos Marmol in Houston on July 3rd. Check swing foul on the ground off the bat of Mike Lamb. Wind is out of the east, so it's not going to hurt anything out where Biggio hit it, but it might hurt the left-handed power hitters. Well, Greg has had a tough time after a 5-0 month of April. He has lost 10 games and has won just 2. So he's lost 10 of his last 12 decisions.
I think he would even be the first one to admit in most of those games he has not pitched well enough to win, but there have been a couple of starts wedged in the middle of those that he probably did pitch well enough to win. Either the team didn't score runs for him or didn't make plays behind him defensively, but I'm sure Maddux would take it all on his own shoulders and say he just didn't pitch well enough.
Flags that ball down and will throw out Mike Lamb. Nice play by Maddux.
Now that's the one glaring difference between these two pitchers. Both great in their own way as we get a look at Maddux making a nice play on our Southwest.com RoboCam. Maddux with 15 gold gloves. Roger Clemens 0.
Here's Chris Burke, center fielder. He hit a home run last night. The Cubs won the opener 4-2.
You know, Len, you mentioned the fact that Larry Vanover had been behind the plate for a Maddux start earlier this year. Some fans may remember I was very critical of Larry Vanover in that game. He was calling an extremely tight strike zone, but Greg Maddux, as he usually does in his post-game comments, refused to say anything negative. He said, I have a lot of respect for Larry. He's been a good umpire for me. And Greg Maddux knew that somewhere down the road he was going to get Larry Vanover again behind the plate. So we'll see how it goes tonight.
And not only did he say that, but didn't he add that I would be great if I had him behind the plate in the future.
Say all the right things, whether you mean it or not.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Burke. He has killed the Cubs this year, 444. And in his short career, 450. That's a check swing foul. Well, we might be like those who went to Woodstock in 1969 tonight. If we sniff any sort of precip, we're going to be yelling, no rain, no rain.
Look behind you, the weather. Come down off the towers.
We don't want anything to interrupt Maddux against Clemens tonight.
Yeah, of course, getting weather reports at the ballpark is like bad rumors spreading around the office. You know, first we heard it was going to rain at 5:30, then it was going to stop at 7 o'clock to get the game in. It was going to rain again at 10:30. Well, we didn't see any rain at 5 o'clock or 5:30, and so far we haven't seen any, knock on wood. So hopefully that window will stay with us here for a few hours.
Well, it looks like we're seeing just a few droplets, and it is raining in Cincinnati. Mets with an early lead. How about Carlos Beltran? He hit another grand slam last night. 2-hopper to Ronnie Cedeno, popping the bubble with the gum as he threw out Chris Burke. Well, apparently he can chew gum and throw out a base runner at the same time.
Yeah, we talk a lot about rhythm in the game of baseball. Ronnie had it right there ready to blow the bubble, didn't want to break the rhythm. That's one of those plays. Nobody will ever say anything about that as long as you make the play. First time you throw one away or drop the ball or boot it, you can't blow bubbles when you field grounders anymore.
My guess is he didn't even realize he did it.
Probably not.
Just reflex. Here's Lance Berkman, the switch hitter, having an unbelievable year. Andrew Jones did pass him last night for the RBI lead in the National League. Berkman is second with 85 on the year. Left-handed, right-handed, it doesn't really matter, as we talked about during the opener last night.
A little more power, a little more natural power from the left side of the plate, but extremely dangerous no matter which side he's on.
Astros are 4 back in the wild card, but they're tied for 7th. They're 4th in the Central, 7.5 out, 4 games under 500. Cubs are 20 under. They're in 5th, 15.5 back of the Cardinals. Well, Phil Garner knows that the Astros the last 2 years have been as good, if not better, than every other team in baseball. Winning the wild card each of the last 2 years. Pierre has to play that on the hop. Looked like JP didn't get a very good read on it, and Berkman has a 2-out single.
Now, sometimes the determining factor is what is the spin on the ball as it's coming out there. Sometimes that ball will have backspin and carry a little bit. Sometimes it'll have topspin and sink a lot. Other times it will knuckle on its way out to center field, and that time Juan just kind of got caught in between and decided to play it safe, make sure that ball doesn't get by for extra bases.
Aubrey Huff had an RBI triple last night. Acquired last week from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays for a couple of minor leaguers. Playing third base, Morgan Ensberg is on the disabled list with a bruised right shoulder. Kick and the pitch. He is inside on Huff.
It'll be interesting to see what the Astros do when Morgan Ensberg comes back healthy. Ensberg was only hitting .226 against right-handed pitching this year. Of course, he was a big part of this Astros offense last season and will be again before all is said and done. But you have to figure if they trade for Aubrey Huff, they're going to find a place to play him.
Ryan Theriot getting his second start since getting called up last Friday. Makes the play. Biggio with a leadoff home run. Clemens against the Cubs lineup when we return.
Can't we stay another day?
Sure. Florida. Easy to get to, hard to leave. Go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $69 internet specials from Chicago Midway to Florida. Purchased by July 27th.
You are now free to move about the country.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Cubs Pepsi lineup. Juan Pierre starts it. Cubs, by the way, have won 5 of 7. Ryan Theriot, we mentioned, at second. Lee Ramirez Jones and the red-hot Michael Barrett in the middle. Angel Pagan the start in left. Ronnie Cedeno at short. Greg Maddux is the pitcher.
Take a look at the Astros defensively. Wilson, Burke, and Berkman across the outfield. Aubrey Huff at third. Adam Everett at short. Craig Biggio at second. Mike Lamb over at first. The veteran catcher Brad Ausmus once again behind the plate for the future Hall of Famer right-hander, the Rocket, Roger Clemens.
Maddux with 325 wins. Clemens has 342. Flashbulbs popping. Ball 1, and only 5 starts since coming back this year, but he's not getting much run support once again. In his first 5 starts, 3 times has gotten 0 runs in support while he's been on the mound. Well, that's not the case tonight, as Biggio hit the leadoff home run. Clemens is tied for 8th on the all-time wins list with Tim Keefe. Maddux is 13th, and if he can win tonight, he'll jump into a 12th place tie with Eddie Plank. Skied foul out of play, left side. At Wrigley Field, Roger Clemens has made 5 career starts, 2-1 with a .259. But how about this interesting number? In 31 1/3 career innings pitched here in the friendly confines, he has allowed a grand total of 0 home runs.
A lot of that has to do with Rogers' innate ability to get hitters out and keep them in the ballpark, but he may have been the beneficiary of some winds blowing in his starts too.
In the dirt, and he's run it full on Pierre.
Clemens going with the high socks tonight. You don't usually see pitchers change their look out there on the mound. Normally Clemens is a guy that wears the pants down around the ankle, but has him hiked up at the knee tonight.
The 3-2 is pulled foul past first.
Yeah, when a hitter does that, they call it their knock socks. They're changing to the knock socks to try to change their luck at home plate, hopefully get some base hits. Like I said, you don't see pitchers usually change too much out there on the mound. Juan Pierre with his knock socks on.
Now he has those on every day. Biggio will have a short throw to Lamb, and they get Pierre. And now we'll see Ryan Theriot who was in the minor leagues up until he got the call-up for the second time this year on Friday. So less than a week ago, he was in AAA, and tonight he starts against Roger Clemens.
And that's one of the things as a young player, you have to try to put it out of your mind. I mean, certainly he thought about it a lot before the ball game today. Probably thought about it as he stood in the on-deck circle for Juan Pierre's at bat. But once you get in that batter's box, it's not Roger Clemens, future Hall of Famer. It's an opponent, and you got to try to do the best you can to battle him.
How about his 2 starts against Tom Glavine and now Roger Clemens? Been an interesting homestand in that regard. Glavine, Maddux a couple of times, Clemens. We're going to see Pettit and Zambrano tomorrow. Some good pitching matchups. Cubs bested Roy Oswalt last night. He's under 500. Pettit has been very good lately after a slow start. Called strike 3. And Clemens with his first K tonight. He's second on the all-time strikeouts list.
Clemens working that inside corner. In the latter portions of his career, he has pitched away a lot more than he did in his early career. Of course, a lot of that early career was spent in the American League, where he didn't have to worry about swinging the bat himself. I mean, he was known as a headhunter at one point in his career. Over the last 2 seasons plus 5 games started this year, he's only hit 9 batters. He had some seasons in the American League where he was into double digits every year. Had a season of 14, one of 12, one of 10. Of course, with the DH, he never had to be concerned with going up there to the plate himself.
The 0-1 to Lee, misses outside. Mentioned the strikeouts, 4,525 career strikeouts for Roger Clemens. Working with a veteran tonight, Brad Ausmus back of the plate. That's a strike.
You know, the interesting thing, Len, we talk about Maddux versus Clemens, but more so than those two guys against each other, it's Clemens against the Cubs lineup, Maddux against the Astros lineup. And you know, you see one of the premier pitchers in the game hooking up against one of the premier hitters in the game, even though Derek Lee is not close to 100% right now. The last 8 plate appearances, Derek has either struck out or walked. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks against the Rocket.
I seem to recall when Maddux faced Clemens and beat him in Houston last year, Greg said, I just think it's cool that I get to bat against Clemens. It's a very Greg Maddux-like comment for sure. 1-2 on Lee. A wind and the pitch, and a foul back to the netting. Well, in case you're wondering, Greg Maddux is 0 for 4 in his career against Clemens. Clemens on the flip side, 2 for 5 against Maddux. We'll do another 1-2, and it's hit to left. Preston Wilson is there, and he squeezes out number 3. Cubs go down in order, 1-0 Houston to the second.
Hey, Rod, if you're interested, there's a future for you in the beverage distribution industry.
Hey, McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and Zinfandel, and so's my new bride, Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable.
I'm gelling.
You're so not gelling.
Dr. Scholl's.
Olive Garden's unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks lunch. All the homemade warmth, dipping, crispness, amazing dressing, and never having to wonder who gets the last breadstick you want. Just $5.95. Good idea. Great meal.
Stu, how does new Tidy Cats litter work?
Well, each granule is formulated to absorb quickly and lock in odor better than ever.
So can I invite some friends?
Yes.
New Tidy Cats. Multiple strengths for multiple cats.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
Give me a chance.
Do something to help me make it.
Make foster care better.
Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids.
Thursday, the Astro landing comes to a close on the north side, and the Cubs have one final mission objective. Wrigleyville's ready for liftoff. Cubs, Astros, Thursday at 2 on Superstation WGN.
Don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. On the blog tonight, we both have a post on tonight's historic pitching matchup. And as always, game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. Once again, it's WGNTV.com. Click on Len and Bob's blog. Thank you, Dunkin' Donuts. Remember, America runs on Dunkin'. Happy 32nd birthday to Preston Wilson. He shares a birthday with former Cub great Phil Cavarretta, who is 90 today. Played with the Cubs from 1934 to 53, went to Lane Tech. Just west of where we're sitting right now.
And they both share a birthday with a good friend of the Brenly family, Kathy Hunt. She's here in Chicago celebrating her birthday with some friends, and we're glad to have her here.
Who shares a birthday with actor Anthony Edwards, who played Goose in Top Gun, and 1972 Democratic presidential nominee George McGovern, in case you were wondering. Another good play by Maddux. Anything around him he will get to and probably field it cleanly.
He's always in such good defensive position when he releases the ball. You see so many pitchers that'll fall off one side of the mound or the other. Greg Maddux always ends up with his feet underneath him, squared up to home plate, ready to react to what he sees off of that bat.
Here's Brad Ausmus, career .326 hitter against Maddux, and that average will go up as he dunks that one into right center. Now I got to go back to the note right off the top, just before the first pitch. I thought the appeals process was pretty slow in MLB, but I got to tell you, as far as a scoring change, I've never heard of one taking 2 months. I mean, are you going to get a call at some point and find out that you actually should have had 4 more hits back in 1986?
I certainly hope so. Anything I can do to creep that career average up to 250.
I vaguely recall the play that we thought it should have been an error, and it was instead called a hit for Hanley Ramirez. So Ronnie Cedeno did make an error yesterday, but his error total went up from 15 to 16. So that's the only bad news from the Cubs perspective, but it did save 5 earned runs for Greg Maddux. Outside corner strike.
And the thing is, you know, Greg Maddux had nothing to do with it. I mean, he cares, obviously, but he doesn't really care enough to raise a stink over something like that. If the scorer makes a call, he lives with it.
.02 is topped off the plate toward third, and it is foul. I'll tell you, that was a nice play by Ramirez. It would have been very easy to just kind of panic at the end, but that ball kicked foul at the very last second.
Real nice play by Aramis Ramirez right there. I doubt if he would have been able to get Adam Everett at first base if he tries to field this ball. We get a look from our Southwest.com RoboCam. It's not where his body is, it's where the ball is in relation to that foul line, and you can clearly see the ball is in foul territory when he makes the play. Charlie Relaford right on top of it.
Another one tapped foul 2 strikes on Adam Everett, who's been better against righties than lefties. 250 against right-handers, under 200 against lefties. In fact, both shortstops tonight better against righties and lefties. Cedeno 299 against right-handers, 175 versus southpaws. Well, Michael Barrett in an interesting position tonight because he has caught both guys. A teammate of Greg Maddux, and he caught Roger Clemens in the World Baseball Classic. And Michael had a lot of interesting things to say about these two guys, and in particular about facing Clemens. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. So here comes Clemens.
Batting next, the pitcher, number 22, Roger Clemens.
Well, obviously he's on the road. About 3 people clapped for Roger Clemens. Yeah, Michael told us that after he caught Clemens, when he faced Roger in Houston, he had too much to think about. They say paralysis by analysis, and that's what happened to Michael. Too much of a game plan. It kind of messed him up.
I always thought it worked to a catcher's benefit to have caught a pitcher in the past somewhere down the road, just so you have a bird's eye view of what his pitches do and how they react as they come to the plate. But as Michael was telling us, sometimes you can get a little too caught up in how does he go about setting up hitters, what's he likely to do to me. And certainly the way Michael's been swinging the bat lately, you don't want to think too much. Just see the ball react.
Michael's a very contemplative guy. And he likes to talk about the big picture. And he said, you know, just thinking about Maddux and Clemens, he said, I start to think that they were born with it. And that is the idea that they never panic. When the game speeds up, when things get out of whack, they just slow it down. They stick to their guns. They get the out at second. No runs for the Astros in the second inning. It is 1-0 from Wrigley.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
We're on call for you.
Every day. Every day. Well, really just weekdays. And only for an hour.
Scrubs making house calls this fall on Superstation WGN.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp with ideal flavor. It's clean for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients.
This is Budweiser. This is clean. Budweiser.
This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
So get this. We try this new little place. Say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you'll like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you'll like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was going to die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
Superstation WGN is your summertime home for Sex and the City.
Hey, Cub fans, the Cardinals are coming to town, and the AT&T Summer Series is celebrating this epic battle with all kinds of epic prizes. Go to att.cubs.com to enter for a chance to win tickets to the games, seats in the suites, Summer Series gear, and even the chance to throw out a ceremonial first pitch before one of the games. The new AT&T, your world, delivered.
Nicely done. Clemens went 1-2-3 through this lineup in the first inning, and Aramis Ramirez fouls back for strike one. Bottom two. Craig Biggio, the leadoff homer. Hot and steamy tonight here on the north side. Mentioned the youngster Greg Maddux, who's 40. Roger Clemens 43, and next month he'll turn 44. 6'4", 235 pounds, just an amazing athlete. Both guys are. When we talked about the defense, Greg Maddux' athleticism probably has been underestimated over the years. Swung on and missed. Good numbers for Ramirez against Clemens, who's ready for a 1-2, and here it is. Ground ball to short, gobbled up by Adam Everett, and 1 out. Well, the Cubs have tonight on an interim basis, and just for tonight, Juan Lopez, the Cubs bullpen coach, is coaching third base. Chris Spire's arrest early this morning has been well documented, so he has left the club to deal with personal business. So tonight it's Porky, Juan Lopez at third. He has coached third before, but this is the first time in the big leagues. Sonny Jackson is in uniform and on the bench, and Mike Quaddy, the Cubs AAA Iowa manager, will join the club tomorrow, and he'll assume third base coaching duties until Chris Spire returns. Here's Jock Jones, 1 ball, no strikes. Jock with a trademark red bat. You know, the color of that bat, that has the look that if the power went out, you could still see the bat, the glow in the dark model. Very interesting shade of red. Shoots that one into right. Well, he'll keep using it, that's for sure. He's going to try to get to second, and he'll get in. A hustle double for Jock Jones. Testing Lance Berkman, who has his hands on his head. I think Berkman's saying, maybe I should have made a better throw. I'm not sure, but we love the bat.
I think Berkman may have been reacting to the fact that that throw was cut off back into the infield. Usually when you see an outfield react like that, they think they made a good throw. Jock jumping all over a pitch down into the right field corner. Berkman hustling over. Nice backhanded play. Can't get much on the throw because he didn't have a lot of momentum, but Biggio cut the throw off. It appeared to be on line. Of course, it's very hard to tell from up here in the press box, but generally when you see an outfielder react like that, they felt the ball should not have been cut off.
Here's the hitterish Michael Barrett. That's low, ball 1.
Jock Jones continues a trend against Roger Clemens this season. Lefties have hit him at better than a 357 clip. Right-handers batting only 175 against the Houston right-hander.
Since June 1st, Michael Barrett has the best batting average in the majors at .419. Even better than Joe Mauer, who's at .398. All the catchers. Brian McCann's had a terrific year in Atlanta, and great numbers for Michael against Houston.
I think part of the reason for Michael's recent success is what we just saw. He took a strike right there from Roger Clemens, but it was a good pitcher strike at the knees on the outside corner. Not a pitch you can do very much with. He's been much more patient, waiting to get pitches that he can do damage with, and when he does get those pitches, he's rarely missing them lately.
Well, I got to tell you, I have to give you some credit. Our good friend Phil Garner, who we know so well, used that word, hitterish, that you dropped into a broadcast a few days ago. Saw it in the Houston paper this morning. Ground ball to Biggio, who will throw out Barrett.
Well, I guarantee you it's not a phrase I coined. It's just something I heard over the years.
Well, he did too.
And it's very apparent. We talked about it. You see a hitter get in the box. He's balanced. He's very calm in the batter's box. Not a lot of wasted movement. Gets that front foot down quickly, tracks the ball into the hitting zone, and lays off the pitcher's pitches and swings at the hitter's pitches. And that's been the description for Michael Barrett lately.
Garner quoted in the Houston Chronicle this morning talking about last night, saying, I thought we had some pretty good at bats. We looked hitterish. I thought we were going to get some hits tonight. Well, they had a lot of walks against Carlos Marmol, but he limited the Astros to 1 run in 6 innings. He picked up his first major league hit, and he got his 2nd straight win. 6 walks in 6 innings. But he worked around him. Yeah, I'm thinking, as I said in Milwaukee before the break, we might have to credit Zabumafu, the kids show. Hitterish sounds like a word from that show.
Well, speaking of hitterish, I'd be real loose if I were Angel Pagan right now. He showed bunt there on the first pitch, which in my eyes is a good play. He looked up. Aubrey Huff was playing deep at third base. If you've got good speed as a hitter and you think you can beat out a bunt for a base hit to drive that runner home from third, I don't think it's always a bad play. But with Roger Clemens on the mound, I think Brad Ausmus said something to Angel Pagan because Larry Vanover came out to sweep off non-existent dirt off of home plate just to break up the conversation.
Well, it's 3-0 on Pagan, with Ronnie Cedeno on deck. 2 down, runner at third. Clemens from the stretch. And that one missed. Ball 4. So a hit and a walk in the inning. And Cedeno will dig in. 2 for 3, scored a run last night.
You saw Brad Ausmus come out from behind home plate to give the signs to the infielders to let them know what he was going to do with the ball if Angel Pagan breaks for second base. Usually 3 different options. You throw through to second base, try to get that runner. You throw directly to third to try to pick off Jock Jones. Or you hold the ball. Some catchers will use a full arm fake and then just hang on to the ball. But you have to let those middle infielders know, because if you're not going to throw the ball, you want them to hold their position. Don't break for second base.
Pagan, by the way, with just 1 stolen base attempt, and he was not successful. Faked going to second that time, and this one is hit high in the air, way foul. And back out of play. The Cubs with 65 steals on the year. They have already matched their season total from last year. I think the new guy at the top of the lineup had a lot to do with that. 32 of the Cubs' 65 stolen bases. But if you go back to 2004, they had just 66 that entire year. Long look, and you see Ausmus going to start over, and now Cedeno asks for time.
Well, the wheels are spinning now. 0-2 count is a good time to pitch out if you think Pagan might be running over there at first base.
There he comes, and we'll do it again. 0-2. How about this? The Cubs are 20 under 500, but they're over 500 against their own division, as Ronnie kind of shaking that one off. Cubs are 24 and 23 against the National League Central. And when you look at what the Cubs have done against the Houston Astros, they have dominated in their wins and have really scuffled in the losses.
Yeah, that number in the column, runners in scoring position, that's usually a determining factor in the success or lack of success that you have against an individual club over the course of a season.
Cubs 3-7 against the Astros, 1-3 here at home. Clemens has one win this year, and it came against the Cubs in Houston. It was a 7-2 decision on July 3rd. Went just 5 innings through a season high 115 pitches. Just foul.
Good at bat here by Ronnie. The longer he can stay up there and continue to foul off pitches on a hot, muggy night like tonight, that's going to take its toll. I mean, Clemens is a horse. He's a guy that's used to throwing a lot of pitches. He's pretty much back to right where he should be at this point of the season after a late start. But the more pitches you can make him throw in the early going of this ballgame, the better chance you have of him making a mistake later on.
Went after the high fastball and couldn't find it. And the Cubs strand 2 in the second. 1-0 Houston.
American Idol Rewind. Go back to the beginning with the one show that made America sing. American Idol Rewind. Coming this fall to Superstation WGN.
In these shark-infested waters, a team of scientists and one brave volunteer are about to find the answer to an important question. Is Diet Mountain Dew as much of a thrill as regular Dew? The results were clear. Diet Mountain Dew is all the dew with none of the calories.
I learned a lot when I found out I had high blood pressure, but I didn't know it could lead to erectile dysfunction.
Having diabetes changed my life, but I didn't know it could lead to ED.
Guys should know that having certain health conditions like high blood pressure
or diabetes may lead to ED, and that Levitra can help.
Doctors know Levitra works for men with ED, even those with high blood pressure or diabetes. Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems or are on alpha blocker therapy, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away.
Imagine what Levitra can do for you. Talk to your doctor.
The more you know about ED, the more you'll want to know about Levitra.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Your summer baseball station is brought to you by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Nicely done. Hey, we have a special guest in the booth with us. The great Loaf.
Oh, guys.
Is in town.
Thank you, guys.
How
Thank you very
are you?
much. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it is an honor and a privilege to be at Wrigley Field.
On a night like this with Maddux against
and
Clemens.
How many times are you going to see Maddux and Clemens?
Well, it's only the 3rd time they've ever matched up, and only the 2nd time as 300-game winners.
Future Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
We're watching them.
Another future Hall of Famer at the plate, Craig Biggio, that got the scoring started here with a leadoff home run in this game.
And I missed it.
You missed it. Though you threw out the first pitch.
And
That's
we
right.
were walking.
1 strike on Biggio. Here's the next pitch by Maddux. And a fly ball to center. No problem for Juan Pierre. So, bat out of hell 3 is coming out on Halloween.
It is. I think. I think that's
when it's done. Is it ready to go?
It's done. It's ready to go, and it sounds amazing. It really does.
Sure
because
it
if
does.
you're going to do Bat Out of Hell 3, you got a lot to live up to. So you better make it good, or people are going to look at you and throw eggs and vegetables at you.
How many more bats are there?
This was originally going to be called The Last at Bat.
Nice. So you're a huge baseball fan.
I'm a huge baseball fan. But Europe didn't like they didn't get The Last at Bat. So we changed the title. We changed it to The Monster is Loose, which is just as good.
Mike Lamb is a batter. Okay, so you've been Meat Loaf since...
I've been Meat since I was 9 months old. When I went to school, teachers said, Meat, did you do your homework? And go to church on Sunday. Preacher'd go, Meat, glad to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Down in the front row like you're supposed to be, son. I said, yes, I am, sir.
So when you meet people on the street, do they say Mr. Meat, Mr. Meatloaf?
Generally, they just call me other names.
Well, meat is kind of an affectionate term that ball players use.
For rookies.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
oh,
meat,
I know. The first time I was ever in Major League, that was in the 70s. And I went down to Yankee Stadium and introduced myself as Meat, and they all looked at me really funny, you know. And I said, what's wrong? And they said, well, that's what we call rookies. I have a tough time calling you that.
Throws out Lamb. Let's check out the first pitch. Got a great ovation. You got it there in the air.
I got it there in the air. Didn't hit the dirt. Wasn't exactly high and inside. It was more like behind the batter, but that's okay.
Listening to one of the tracks. Well, the original Bat Out of Hell, I mean, one of the greatest albums of all time, without a doubt.
Oh, I know it's tough to live up to it, too. Let me tell you, it's got a life of its own, Bat Out of Hell. It's created its own existence. So you just deal with it on that level and go, I'm so glad that it emotionally connected to so many people, and it made people really happy, and you go on with your life.
And the other thing is, you've acted in several TV shows and movies, and I was telling you before you came on that wow, Fight Club, I mean, that film just blew me away. And, your character in particular, I mean, that's the kind of movie that sticks with you. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
no,
I mean,
that's a good
really
thing.
was.
That's a good thing. A lot of people didn't recognize me right away, which was also a good thing to me, because I had that big giant suit on, and it weighed 40 pounds. That suit, and that was a tough movie to do because of the weight of the suit, if nothing else.
That one's inside. Now let's see, going back to the original album, Phil Rizzuto, right? You had the baseball call.
Yeah, our first choice was Harry Carey.
Really?
And then I don't know, I don't remember now if he turned us down. He said, no way. What are you kidding me? And then we turned to the second was Mel Allen. I don't think we ever went to him. And then we went to Phil Rizzuto. And Art Shamsky was his agent, and the only thing Phil ever said was, do you have to get high to listen to it?
All right, hang with us for a couple minutes, okay?
You got it.
1-0.
I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's just, it's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
Please.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop service from Chicago Midway to Denver for just $79 one way.
You are now free to move about the country.
Big Mac makes it easy to find treasure. McDonald's invites you to join the hunt with Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, now in theaters. Get a Big Mac, peel the tab, uncover the code, then text in, log in, or dial in, and you can win great prizes, including a new Volvo. Treasure is only a Big Mac away.
So get this. We try this new little place, say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was going to die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
Hey, McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and Zinfandellin, and so's my new bride, Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable.
I'm gelling.
You're so not gelling.
Dr. Scholl's.
Go back to the beginning with American Idol Rewind, coming this fall.
Astros, Cubs, Clemens, Maddux, and here we go. It's Roger Clemens against Greg Maddux. Clemens hit into a fielder's choice to end the second. And so now it's Greg's turn.
He's a pretty good hitter.
Yeah, he has 5 career home runs, 78 RBIs. He has 99 career runs. Like to get to 100 maybe tonight. That one is outside. What's it like, Bob, when two guys like this match up, literally match up?
Well, I think Greg Maddux just hoping to get out of there without getting his bat broken and getting a stinger in his hands. And, you know, they don't want to embarrass each other. You know, that's the main thing. Maddux would love to get a base hit, but he just doesn't want to be embarrassed against the Rocket. And the Rocket doesn't want Maddux to get a base hit because that would be embarrassing to him.
The thing about the American League is, you know, Greg Maddux doesn't, if he were in the American League, he doesn't get the feel of what it's like to face Clemens. So if nothing else, I mean, we both love the National League, but this has got to be a thrill for both guys to face the other.
Oh, couldn't even imagine it.
We're here with Meatloaf, and got a couple more questions for you before we let you go.
We got to watch Greg hit, though.
That's right.
That's the most important thing at the moment.
So a wind and the 1-2 from Clemens, and Maddux just with that defensive swing hangs in.
Yeah, I've said it before many times, Len. A lot of times the best thing an opposing pitcher can do, in this case Greg Maddux, just see as many pitches as possible. Make Clemens work. Make him throw 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 pitches to finish this at bat. Even if you make an out, you've done your job.
Another foul almost hit Juan Pierre. How did that ball go where it did?
Bob, you ought to take this up full time, man.
So JP pointing the other way, saying to Maddux, hit it fair.
Well, you'd think you'd be safe standing behind him, but apparently not.
Another 1-2 into
look at
center.
that. Look at that.
Gonna hold up for Chris Burke.
Hit it too good.
That was a heck of a color. The color comment. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, I'm not giving up my day job.
All right, so your influence has grown up musically. The top of your list.
Mahalia Jackson, gospel music. Gospel music and Broadway show tunes. I think that makes sense for what I do. Oklahoma, Carousel, Mahalia Jackson, and Tennessee Ernie Ford. Figure those out.
And you like to put on a show. I mean, what's it like to perform in front of a crowd like, say, tonight?
It's amazing. It's amazing. The energy that you get from an audience, you know, and I don't wait for them. I try to energize them, so we kind of do give and take a little bit.
Burke is going to go back after freezing for a moment, and he runs it down. That's a nice catch by Burke. Well, at first he didn't know that that ball was going to go as far as it did. The wind right now is doing nothing. But that ball had some carry to it.
Yeah, just a little bit of helping wind, and Juan Pierre would have had his second home run of the season. That ball was hit pretty good to the left of straightaway center. Burke with a nice running catch.
So it'll bring up Ryan Theriot with 2 outs here in the inning.
I have a question for you about the ivy. Do they ever have to replace it?
It just comes back every year.
Just comes back.
Wow.
By mid-May, it's about as green as it is right now. Not quite as full. Pretty brown, the vines, of course, when we start the year. But
just like fans at a Meatloaf concert, they just keep coming back.
That's right. They're brown in the beginning.
Well, Meat, great to see you.
Nice
Pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It was my pleasure, and thanks for everyone having me out to Wrigley Field tonight. It's fantastic.
Well, we can't wait for Bat Out of Hell 3 coming out on Halloween, which is obviously appropriate.
And all the fans watching, enjoy this pitching matchup. That's what I got to say.
All right, well,
take care, gentlemen.
Come back soon.
Okay, thanks.
The great Meatloaf. 2-1 on Ryan Theriot. And a ground ball sending Biggio to his left, and he throws out Theriot. Thought Robert in the dining room tonight might have Meatloaf on the plate. Maybe tomorrow. You never know. Good stuff. We'll be back 1-0.
These days, it's out with the old, in with the new. True, it didn't have a water dispenser or an ice maker. What it does have is plenty of room for what's really important. to the beer fridge.
No one to play with. Play online at partypoker.net, the world's largest poker school. More players, more tables, more winners. Sign up now to partypoker.net, the best place to learn how to win.
All right, okay.
Get what you want with Dell. Like this Inspiron B130 notebook with an Intel Celeron M processor for just $479. Dell, purely you.
I am someone who is looking for love. Consuming real love.
It's hard to find people who will love you no matter what. I was lucky enough to find 3 of them.
Sex and the City, 7 nights a week on Superstation WGN.
Well, the Hall of Fame matchup tonight, Maddux and Clemens. And the only run tonight, the Craig Biggio, another future Hall of Famer. I don't think anyone would dispute that. The leadoff home run in the first inning. Lance Berkman, the batter, as we start inning number 4. Greg Maddux has said that he and Roger Clemens do the same things, but Clemens does it at faster speeds. He said when you do it faster, you're overpowering. On the ground for Cedeno. Popped another bubble with the gum. That's worked out well for him tonight. If you just joined us, this is what has happened statistically thus far to both Clemens and Maddux.
So far, as advertised, the 2 Hall of Famers going at it. Other than the leadoff home run by Craig Biggio, the Jock Jones double into the corner. Really not a lot of hard hit balls so far in this game.
Greg has lost 5 consecutive decisions. His last win was on June 9th. And you don't want to think negatively, but he is trying to avoid what would be his 200th career defeat. 325 and 199. (2-0) on Aubrey Huff.
You know, Len, another thing these 2 guys have in common, and I'm sure there have been times in their career where they've had to tweak their mechanics a little bit, but you rarely hear either one of them talk about struggling with their mechanics.
Maddux will take it unassisted. Don't miss your opportunity to create a lasting memory that you will be able to revisit each trip to Wrigley Field. Purchase a personalized engraved commemorative paver today that will be installed outside of Wrigley Field prior to the 2007 season. For more information and to order, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
I mean, if you look at videotape from Roger Clemens when he pitched for the University of Texas, it's very much the same as what he's doing here on the mound tonight. And I'm sure the same could be said for Greg Maddux.
Squibbed off the end of the bat, knocked down by Maddux, but he'll flip to the lead. It's been a busy night for the pitcher. That's his 3rd assist, and he just, of course, went 1 unassisted on the Huff play.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off. You wanna please me.
Sirs? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy so you can have more fun. So make your body happy. Drink more water. Aquafina.
So get this. We try this new little place, say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was gonna die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
Big Mac marks the spot. It's time for Disney's new movie, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest, now in theaters. And the Big Mac meal could be your key to millions of high-tech treasures. Or you could win one of 28 new Volvos.
Hey, podcast fans, don't forget to check out our weekly podcast brought to you by the new AT&T Home Turf. We have a surprise for Bob this week. Talk about handling the hot weather. And a special guest, baseball collector Seth Swirsky, will visit. He'll show off one of his prized possessions, a ball used for the last out of the last Cubs World Series in 1945. Podcast sponsored by AT&T Home Turf. You've seen how your favorite athletes play. Now see how they live with the new AT&T Home Turf at seehowtheylive.com. Blowing outside on Dealey. 2-0. I guess Derek Lee will be an upcoming subject on See How They Live. 2-1 on him. Only hit for the Cubs in the first 3. The Jock Jones hustle double in the second. Clemens 4-3 in his career against the Cubs. Ramirez on deck. Cubs trying to make it 6 of their last 8. Thought last night was a big win for a couple of reasons. You get Marmol another win. He's starting to feel more comfortable. But after what happened Sunday night, you get an off day Monday, come right back and you're able to forget about what happened 2 nights before. 1 out with Ramirez coming up.
That's one good thing about baseball players. For the most part, they have very short memories. When you play 162 games over the course of 180 days, yeah, you better have a short memory. Whether it's good or bad, you have to move on and concentrate on the next day's game.
Outside edge for a strike.
But one thing against a pitcher like Roger Clemens, or I'm sure the Astros feel the same way against Greg Maddux tonight, it's always such a key to get the leadoff hitter on base.
High chopper to Huff. Charging toward first. 2 down. Tomorrow, July 20th, the Cubs will take on these Astros at 1:20. The first 5,000 girls age 14 and under will receive exclusive limited edition American Girl doll-sized Chicago Cubs apparel compliments of Bank of America. We had a shot earlier of Todd Walker, who's not being punished for the 2 errors on Sunday. Ryan Terry on the lineup tonight because Dusty talked about having his speed and his defensive lineup here tonight. And with Greg Maddux, of course, getting a lot of ground balls, he wanted to get some speed and that defense in the lineup. Nafy played last night against Roy Oswalt. Nafy had good numbers against Oswalt prior to that game. Another 1-2-3 inning for Roger Clemens.
Okay, guys, now this is the biggest tournament of the season. You all know why we're here.
We're here to win, yeah! Come on!
Trevor? Yeah. How many times have we been over this? This is softball. We're not here to win or lose. We're just here for the Bud Light.
Bud Light? Of course, my bad.
It's okay.
All right.
Put that away.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
7 innings, 32 minutes. I think that's a new record, guys.
Well done!
When you need to send someone money in a hurry, Western Union offers you the Gold Card Rewards program. It quickly pulls your information, saving you time and paperwork.
Ah, your brother Scotty.
For every story, Western Union.
Park your car in the sun for a couple of hours, and it doesn't just get hot. It gets sizzling hot, blistering hot, too hot to get into. But now, the same sun that makes your car unbearably hot can keep it cooler and comfortable with the amazing AutoCool, the ingenious solar-powered ventilation system that keeps cars cooler, no matter how long they're left in the sun. Sunlight captured by the solar panel powers a powerful micro-ventilation system, pulling the stifling heat out and keeping the inside cooler. Call now and get the AutoCool, a $40 value for only $14.99. You'll also receive our Clever Cup Holder Caddy, a $15 value absolutely free. Just pay separate shipping. It instantly transforms the extra cup holder in your car into an easy-to-reach organizer. Yes, you get both. The amazing AutoCool and the cup holder caddy. A $55 value for just $14.99.
To order your AutoCool, call 1-800-376-2813. That's 1-800-376-2813. Call now.
Hey, McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and zinfandellin, and so's my new bride, Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable.
I'm gelling.
You're so not gelling.
Dr. Scholl's.
Still 1-0. And it's Brad Ausmus batting here in the 5th inning. Neither offense has looked very hitterish tonight.
Because the two guys on the mound look very pitcherish.
That's right. That's a gapper for Ausmus. Pagan out to get it. And it's a leadoff 2-base hit. So he's 2 for 2 tonight.
Well, I mentioned it in the last half inning with Derek Lee leading off for the Cubs, how important it is always to get the leadoff hitter on, but especially when you have a matchup of premier pitchers, because they're just not going to give up a string of base hits. If you get that leadoff man on, find a way to move him along, get an opportunity to score a run without the benefit of a base hit, that's usually how you're going to break through against good pitching.
Everett struck out swinging in the 2nd. As Houston tries to add on. Bounce to 3rd. That'll help Maddux. Runner holds at 2nd. Boy, good spin by Derek Lee, getting that wrist out of harm's way.
Hey, Len, Trey Anastasio will be at the Charter One Pavilion tomorrow night as part of the Bud Light Concert Series. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Call 312-559-1212 or go online at Ticketmaster.com. Trey Anastasio, the Great Fish lead guitarist, going solo at the Charter One Pavilion tomorrow night.
Should be a great show. Clemens again. Trey Anastasio will be throwing out a first pitch tomorrow afternoon. And Michael will head out along with Ronnie to a chat with Greg Maddux, and here comes Ryan Theriot as well. We have a runner at 2nd with 1 out. They're going to get everything straight here.
Yeah, the reason for this powwow on the mound, the runner at 2nd is Brad Ausmus, the opposing catcher, peering right in at Michael Barrett's signs. He just wanted to make sure that there was nothing going on back there, and just to be safe, Michael called in the middle infielders. They probably changed the sequence of signs and may do it again for the next at bat if Ausmus is still at 2nd base.
Bounce to Maddux, and another assist for the pitcher.
Well, you said it many times, Len. Once a pitcher releases that ball, he becomes another fielder, and nobody exemplifies that more than Greg Maddux. I mean, he is so good out there on the mound. You can afford to cheat your middle infielders closer to the hole on both sides of the field because he's going to cover just about everything hit back up the middle of the field.
The leadoff homer for Biggio, his second career home run against Maddux. Right down the middle, 84 on the fastball from Maddux.
Ten ground ball outs, which is what you're used to seeing from Greg Maddux, and a lot of those right back through the middle of the field.
Right back to him again. Playing goalie out there tonight. He's been perfect defensively, and the only little mistake, Craig Biggio with a leadoff home run. They're standing already at Wrigley, 1-0.
I don't think you're supposed to put coins in there.
Want to get away? Now you can. Go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $49 internet specials from Chicago Midway to cities in the Midwest. Purchased by July 27th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Get what you want with Dell. Like this Inspiron B130 notebook with an Intel Celeron M processor for just $479. Dell, purely you.
So get this. We try this new little place. Say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was going to die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
Lizzie McGuire's got a brand new home coming this fall, only on Superstation WGN.
Well, we talk about a pitcher doing the little things to help himself win a ball game. Greg Maddux in this game already has fielded 5 comebackers. Goes to his right to make a play, throws on to first base. Just a hop, skip, and a jump to his right there. He's going to take this one all by himself. Doesn't even risk a throw to Derek Lee. Another one right back through the mound after giving up the leadoff double. And then Osma stranded at second base as Craig Biggio grounds out to Greg Maddux. The 5th ground ball back to the mound in this game.
Michael Barrett, ground ball to short. 1 out. Well, we get notes all the time. Of course, we get a lot of emails, and we got one here. Hi, Mr. Len Casper and Bruce Brenly.
There you go.
I've been called many different things other than Len, but that one made me laugh. But happy birthday, belated birthday to Vito Birdie from Westchester, Illinois.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cito.
Fair ball. Pagan around first. He'll head to second. Where's the ball? And Wilson finally finds it. He put his hands up originally as the third base umpire Charlie Relaford ran out. Rattled around there in the bullpen area. A 1-out double for Pagan.
Just inside that third baseline, the ball continued on into foul territory, rattles around in that Cubs bullpen. Not sure who it hit. Guy's getting out of the way like that thing is going to explode.
Is that Nafee?
Oh, see, that guy doesn't have a bullpen pass anyway. Nafee's not supposed to be in a bullpen.
Oh. Anything to help a teammate, I suppose. Nafe's saying maybe nobody saw me.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll find you.
Well, the problem is when the guy in front of you, blocks your vision, it's kind of like screening a goalie. You can't really see where the ball is, and that time Nafe ended up against the bricks trying to get out of the way.
The 0-1 is fouled back by Cedeno. Well, time now to have a ball with the Illinois Lottery. Subject tonight, Nafe Perez, get out of the way.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Tim Buss, a strength coach, down there helping out in the bullpen as well. Tonight's have a ball from our friends at the Illinois Lottery and the Cubs bullpen. Cedeno right behind where Nafe's sitting.
They keep hitting the ball at Nafe. He ought to run out on Waveland Avenue. Well, Ronnie's put some good swings on Roger Clemens tonight. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to keep him fair. Hitting the ball hard down that third baseline. Foul.
He's had some Jerry Hairston swings.
Yes, he has.
We've talked a lot about Jerry, who's now with the Rangers, who could hit a lot of balls foul and hard. Pull him way foul. Outside, good eye. Runner at second with one out. Tying run is out there. A buggy night, as you can see as well here at Wrigley. It's everything Michael Barrett talked about. Maddux and Clemens, he said they're low maintenance guys, but they're stubborn. They know what they want. They'll stick right to their game plan. That stick-to-itiveness is something that makes them great, because again, as Michael said, there are times when things get a little tense. It's easy to get thrown off your game plan, but these guys, they don't let it bother them. Kick and a pitch is hit foul the other way.
Well, when you have the track record of these two pitchers, they know what it takes to be successful. They've been through the ringer, good and bad, over the course of their career, and based on that history and based on that experience, they know what they need to do in each given situation. That's why they don't get rattled. Been there, done that. And in Clemens' case, he's been there and done that on the biggest stage. I mean, the guy's pitched in the World Series 6 times.
Well, some great numbers from our friends at Stats. Going into tonight, Roger Clemens facing 19,483 batters in his career. Maddux 18,419. So there isn't a lot they haven't seen. That's just batters. I don't know how many pitches they've thrown, but obviously a lot more than that. And they've both been very durable. Greg Maddux has never been on the DL due to an arm injury. Swung on and missed. Good battle, but Cedeno strikes out for the second time tonight. Well, going into action tonight, you see the wins, a terrific earned run average, a record 7 Cy Youngs for Clemens, and back in the 90s, Maddux won 4 in a row. Boy, what a roar from the crowd you would hear if Maddux could somehow tie this game.
Oh.
Not going to happen, however, as Biggio charges and throws to first. 1 out double, but no runs. Still 1 zip. Houston.
This is David Palmer.
Senator.
Who are you working for? I won't negotiate with terrorists. Tell me where the bomb is!
The home of 24 is right here. Superstation WGN.
Have fun, you guys.
Hey, could you say something to the happy couple?
Jim, Julie, what can we say? We love you guys.
You guys rock.
And about you, young lady?
I wish you all the luck in the world.
Hey, buddy, a few words?
No, I'm just here for the Bud Light. And Sharon.
Shannon.
Shannon.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Everybody, Jenny!
Julie.
Julie!
Denise Basic is a real Geico customer, not a paid celebrity. So to help tell her story, we hired a celebrity.
It was Thanksgiving night when I accidentally hit a deer.
Whoa, look out, look out!
I called Geico expecting to get a recording, but someone was there to help me.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Geico got my claim in the works right away, and I was actually able to enjoy my Thanksgiving.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, and cranberry sauce. Woo!
Geico. Real service, real savings.
I'm Greg Barrett. You don't know me? You know my work. Sex and the City, stand-up comedy. Wrote a little book called He's Just Not That Into You. I'm about relationships. On my new show, we're going to talk about all kinds of relationships. At home, at work, with your kids, with your special someone. And we're going to fix them. No boo-hoo, poor me, wah-wah kind of stuff. Maybe a little wah-wah. So this September, we're changing lives or we're going home.
The Greg Barrett Show. Coming in September to Superstation WGN.
Tonight's Honda Ridgeline game summary. Craig Biggio supplying the only run thus far, his 49th career leadoff home run. A couple of doubles for the Cubs, are only 2 hits. Honda Ridgeline, the 2006 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. See it today at your Honda dealer. Lamb, Burke, and Berkman. And inning number 6. Wind in an 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Mike Lamb. Well, Nathy was stretching down in the bullpen, and Charlie Relaford, the crew chief, told him to vacate once action resumed. It's bounced over Maddux. Terrio with a late throw. I'm not sure he would have gotten him anyway. The throw did pull Lee off first base. It will be a hit for Mike Lamb.
It's one of those do or die plays for Ryan Terrio. You reach into that glove and just hope you get the ball cleanly and can throw on to first. Looked like Ryan didn't have a real good grip on this ball. Kind of throws a changeup to Derek Lee, pulls him off the bag. The Astros have a leadoff hitter on here. Boy, you just have to hold your breath every time you see Derek Lee come off that bag toward the baseline.
And looking at the replay, I think it would have been a very tough throw, but a good throw would have gotten him. But a tough play, so Lamb given a hit. Cubs in double play depth. Ramirez is in at third. 5 hits for Houston. The Cubs have 2. Maddux 0-1 this year against the Astros. 26-13 in his long career. There goes the runner. It's a pitch out. The throw by Michael, and saved. Ronnie seemed to kind of spin and pull his glove almost away from Lamb, and I don't think he ever tagged him.
Boy, the Cubs set that up extremely well. Greg Maddux shaking off, and then the pitch out call. Michael Barrett puts it right on the money. Yeah, Ronnie just pulled the glove out of the way as a sliding runner came in there. Never did come close to applying a tag right there. The ball is a snow cone up in the webbing of the glove, but in Ronnie's effort to get out of the way of Mike Lamb sliding into second base, he never applied a tag.
Bunted foul. Do you think because of the awkward way he caught it that he wasn't quite sure he had it? Maybe if it hits the foot, that ball might end up in center field. I don't know if he was thinking about that specifically, but it wasn't a clean catch.
Hey, it looked like more than anything else, he knew he was in the line of fire there. He was in the baseline. He just wanted to get out of the way. But, man, you got to hang in there and stick a tag on that runner before you jump out of the way.
Burke bunts it to Maddux. He's going to throw to third. And they got him. Another defensive gem from Greg Maddux. So he bails out Cedeno by getting Lamb at third.
Boy, this is just a great play once again on the part of Greg Maddux. He spins around. He knows right where the base is. Ramirez takes the throw out in front. Easy out at third base. Man, what a difference that makes for your infield defense when you have a pitcher that can cover so much ground. Those corner infielders can stay back and hold their position and let that pitcher take everything. Greg Maddux, as much as anybody else in the game, has that internal stopwatch going. He knows how long it should take Mike Lamb to get from second base to third base. He knows how long it's taken for that bunt to get back to him. He knows how long it'll take him to spin around and throw to Ramirez, and it all added up to a nice play at third base to get the lead runner.
Check swing by Berkman, and he did not go around. Long look by Maddux. Gets the sign he wants from Barrett. Good lead by Chris Burke at first. He's not running. And it's pop foul out of play by Berkman. And we got a nice letter recently with a copy of an article. Joliet, Illinois native, senior airman Dan Acosta, who's now in Texas. He was in Iraq disarming bombs, and one went off. He was in western Baghdad. Went off within 20 feet of him. He ended up losing his left arm, suffered extensive leg injuries, and he has a long recovery ahead of him. But the picture in the paper, he has his Cubs cap on. He's a huge Cub fan. So a senior airman, Dan Acosta, get well soon. We're thinking about you, and thank you for all you've done for your country. 21 years old. Received the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. One, and Berkman missed it. Aubrey Huff on deck. We're in the 6th inning tonight, and as advertised, a couple of future first ballot Hall of Famers, Maddux and Clemens. And right now it's 1-0.
You may have noticed Maddux there stepping off the rubber, that little square on the back of the mound. He's gone to that several times to clean the dirt and the clay out of his shoes. We saw him between innings in the third base dugout with a tongue depressor, digging some dirt out of his cleats. I'm not sure if the field was watered excessively today. Knock on wood, so far the rain has stayed away. That shouldn't be a factor, but he's having a lot of trouble with that dirt caking in his cleats tonight.
Another throw to first, sending Burke back to the bag. Here he comes, popped up just in front of the dish, and Lee calls off Barrett at the last possible second. And let's meet tonight's Celebrity Bat Kids, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 9-year-old Shane Smith from Lockport, and Marissa Richter, 10 years old, from Lakemore, Illinois. And they're having a great night at Wrigley thanks to our friends at Walgreens and the Chicago Cubs. For more information on how to be a celebrity bat kid, go to WGNradio.com. Aubrey Hupp with a man on and 2 down. Outside, ball 1. 20 homers in each of his last 4 years going into 06 for Aubrey Huff, all with Tampa Bay. One of 5 left-handed hitters to average 100+ RBIs in the last 3 years. How about this list? Ortiz, Delgado, Matsui, Abreu, and Huff. 303 RBIs over the last 3 years. Blocked by Barrett.
Well, Michael will lose a few pounds tonight. It's that kind of night. The guy that wears the gear behind home plate, getting into that crouch 150, 175 times over the course of a ball game, lose a lot of water weight tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if possibly Henry Blanco and Eric Munson could see action tomorrow afternoon. We'll have that one for you right here on WGN Sports. 1 o'clock for the leadoff man show, and another terrific matchup. Pettit, Zambrano. And the Cubs hope they're going for the sweep. They'll have to come back and win the night. And Burke will end up at third. Innings still alive for Houston. You know, these are little things that don't often go noticed, but there's kind of a choreography that goes on an infield. Not only do you have the 4 infielders, the catcher, the pitcher, but you have the umpires as well. And Chris Guccione, the second base umpire, had to scoot over and get out of the way of that hot shot that got through.
And we've talked about it in the past. It's really interesting sometimes to just come to a ball game and for a half an inning or so just watch the umpires. They have their own language that they do depending on where the runners are and how many outs are in the inning, what's the game situation. They'll point to each other, they'll point to areas of the field, and then they'll all nod at each other. They know exactly what's going to happen if the ball's hit in a specific area.
Well, it's all about positioning, and on every play the umpires try to get in the most advantageous position to have the best look. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the goal. And while we have replays and we certainly point out when we think the call maybe should have gone the other way, they're always trying to get it right. And we've talked about it many times. One of the changes the last few years, it's been great, is if somebody isn't quite sure if a ball got out, they will talk about it. And if somebody else saw it better, they can change the call. Wilson's going to give the Astros another run, maybe 2. Huff is going to be sent, and he'll be able to score easily. That is a 2-run double for Preston Wilson, and it's now 3-0. So on his 32nd birthday, he comes up with a big hit against Greg Maddux.
And most of the time the opposing hitters that have success against Maddux are the guys that are willing to go to the opposite field. A little fastball sinking toward the outside corner, stayed up just enough for Wilson to drive it into that gap in right center field. Larry Rothschild out to have a meeting with Greg Maddux, give him a little bit of a breather out there on the mound. Figure out exactly what they want to do here with Brad Ausmus in the batter's box.
You can join Michael Barrett, Matt Merton, Aramis Ramirez, and other Cub greats on the 3rd annual Walt Disney World Dream Vacation for Cubs players and fans, December 8th through the 12th. It's our biggest and most magical event ever, with private events with Cub players and their fans. Call 1-866-4AAA Cubs now to book your package before they sell out. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Cubs and preferred airline for the trip. Maddux has yet to retire Ausmus tonight. And Brad Ausmus having a good series. He is 4 for 6. We talk about durable going into this year. Brad Ausmus has caught at least 100 games, 11 consecutive seasons. 72 starts leading the National League this year. 1-1 on the way. It's a strike. Two in for the Astros here in the inning. Did miss by a whole lot.
You be the umpire. That comeback sinker starts just off the outside corner. Did it come back enough to get the called strike? Not in the eyes of Larry Vanover.
2-2 is inside. Adam Everett wants a chance here in the inning. Decision pitch this time, and he struck him out, so Ausmus sent down for the first time tonight. Houston gets a couple, and their lead now 3.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Rod, if you're interested, there's a future for you in the beverage distribution industry.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Scrubs. Come to the ER where funny never hurt so good. The Emmy award-winning series Scrubs is coming this fall to Superstation WGN.
Now Greg Maddux not thrilled with the way that inning went as he gave up the 2-out, 2-run double to Preston Wilson. This is a night where he's trying to cool off. Normally the pitchers are trying to stay warm, but that is not an issue tonight. He is wearing it tonight. Well, it's possible Greg might have wanted that pitch earlier in the sequence that we showed you, even though he did ultimately get Ausmus. Todd Walker on deck. So you go with the speed and defense early, but the Cubs find themselves down 3-0. So Todd will bat for Ryan Theriot. There's a bouncer over Aubrey Huff and into left. So that's one where if Huff is playing in his normal position, it might be a routine play. But because he's in against Pierre, it ends up a single.
It's a big part of Juan Pierre's offense, that ability to draw the corner infielders way in to protect against the bunt. And then because he swings down on the ball so hard to try to hit ground balls, occasionally he's going to get one of those high bouncers over the head of a third baseman.
So here's Walker. And obviously he'll stay in and play second. Todd has very good numbers against Clemens. 349 in his career with 2 triples and a home run.
And certainly Juan Pierre over there at first base is going to be a distraction for Roger Clemens and Brad Ausmus here this inning. Talked a couple of innings ago about the importance of getting that leadoff man on, especially if it's a guy like Juan Pierre who can run. He's going to divert Rogers' attention here. Anytime you split your attention between the hitter and the runner, there's a possibility you could make a mistake at the plate.
Juan looking for a milestone stolen base. He has 299 in his career. And leads the majors, those 299 since the start of the 2000 campaign. There he goes. The throw by Ausmus is late. Number 300 for Juan Pierre. And the Cubs have surpassed last year's stolen base total. 66 for the team. They're 6th in the National League.
Well, Brad Ausmus, normally a very strong-armed catcher behind the plate, has really had his problems this season. He's under 15% on the season, 7 out of 47 nabbing attempted base stealers.
In the whole long run for Everett, he was jockeying over there with Pierre, and a nice play to get Walker. Lefty alert, Trevor Miller is up for the Astros. Dealey has flied to left and has struck out swinging. Lots of strikes tonight from these future Hall of Famers. We've only seen 1 walk combined. That was Clemens walking Angel Pagan in the second. Hopefully the lip readers were getting a beverage from the refrigerator. The 0-1 to Lee is a strike on the swing. 0-2. Wind is blowing out. It was blowing toward left when we started. At one point it was doing nothing, and now it's blowing pretty much straight out.
Over the last 3 or 4 days here in Chicago, the ball has been carrying incredibly well, regardless of what direction those flags are blowing.
We saw the Banks and Santo flags. Paul Sullivan in the Chicago Tribune had an article today. Major League Baseball is doing this deal where they're going to ask fans of every team to vote for the best player from that team. So there's a list of 5 from every club, and for the Cubs it's Ernie, Billy Williams, Ron, Rhino, and Fergie Jenkins. And the one that's missing is Sammy Sosa. Now Dusty was asked about it today. He said there should be 6. That would be the best resolution, to have 6. But how do you keep it to just 5 for some of these franchises that have been around for so long? I'm trying to think of just 5 Yankees.
And the real question is, why? I mean, I understand it's a lot of fun for the fans to vote for the players that they think were the best representing the various organizations. But, you know, to ask Dusty to comment on it, I mean, that's not something he created or even wants to weigh in on. I tell you, his favorite player right now is Derek Lee. And should Derek get on base, his favorite player will be Aramis Ramirez. I mean, the current manager doesn't really care for the historical significance and the rankings of players with various organizations.
The pitch is high. So it's 3-2. I did not see the story, but we were talking about it briefly before the game. Sammy's gonna maybe come back, huh?
Yeah, there's
maybe next year.
Been some noise made that he never officially retired. He's just been taking a little break. He's in great shape and looking forward to possibly returning.
Okay. swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Boy, no surprise. A lot of Clemens strikeouts come on elevated fastballs. Four-seamers up in the zone. That one letter high. We've seen him strike out Ronnie Cedeno twice tonight on letter high fastballs. He's either going to punch you out with the high heat or get you to chase that splitter in the dirt, and that's been his formula for years. Ooh, he wanted that one. Started off the mound, expecting to get a strike call from Larry Vanover. Froze in his tracks out there when he didn't get it.
Here's a 1-0, big hack. And that one ended up going out of the park. Do you ever wonder one of these nights you're going to walk out and the windshield will be busted?
I think I'm probably in range out there where I park every day.
One hit hard on the ground, but Biggio there to make the play. Clemens shutting out the Cubs tonight on just 3 hits through 6.
American Idol Rewind. Go back to the beginning with the one show that made America sing. American Idol Rewind. Coming this fall to Superstation WGN.
I'll take Zagar.
Asking my roommate Zagar to play maybe wasn't the best idea.
Cover Pete.
He never seemed to quite grasp the game.
Give me this.
Occasionally, he bent the rules. Zagar, let go.
Come on, play the deal.
Okay, so the game didn't go so well.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
But at least we had the most important thing in common. We all love Bud Light.
Yeah, that was a nice shot, Zagar.
We're live with Dennis Rodman. So, Dennis, you're a world-class player.
That's my player.
You've played in Chicago, Detroit, and Los Angeles. Tell me, who are you going to play with next?
I'm going to play at GoldenPalace.net, the world's most exciting online casino. GoldenPalace.net, the new and exciting online casino school. Just hit click here to play to start learning, and it's absolutely free.
GoldenPalace.net.
And where the real players play.
Big Mac makes it easy to find treasure. McDonald's invites you to join the hunt with Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, now in theaters. Get a Big Mac, peel the tab, uncover the code, then text in, log in, or dial in, and you can win great prizes, including a new Volvo. Treasure is only a Big Mac away.
Well, Greg Maddux ready to work here in the 7th. Trying to keep the Astros right where they are. We mentioned Todd Walker staying in and playing second base. Joe Novak and Rob Judson, football and men's basketball coaches from Northern Illinois, will handle the 7th inning stretch tonight. And again, a good job by Scott Air protecting the bullpen. We have been on alert since the Mets mishap over the weekend. Ullman and Novoa are the pitchers in the Cubs bullpen. Fouled back. Roger Clemens is done after 6. Orlando Palmeiro is on deck. Clemens did not allow a run. And trying to beat the Cubs for the 2nd time this year. His only win thus far is against the Cubs. Cedeno got the big hop and he throws out Adam Everett. Time now for our Bud Light Fan Cam on a night with future Hall of Famers in the air tonight. Non-point with the Phil Collins cover, the Genesis Phil Collins track, In the Air Tonight. Yeah, that was Phil Collins solo. Personal favorite of our associate producer Mark Brady. That's from the new Miami Vice soundtrack. That one missed. So on one of our recent road trips, we had a little fun after one of the games, and I guess they had a jukebox. I didn't see it, but Mark Brady, our wonderful associate producer, said, I got a superset, which means 5 songs. So we waited. Didn't hear any of them. We waited. We waited. All right, we're ready to go. First song comes on, of course. And it was one of Bob Marley's songs that I think was about 27 minutes. That was the first song. I love Bob Marley, but I figured, okay, we're going to be there a while. Marvin Gaye, Louis Armstrong. I mean, just a great superset. Etta James. I mean, it went right down the list. We were all impressed. And the last song, and taking nothing away from Phil Collins, but In the Air Tonight, it didn't really fit. Palmeiro in the air, left center, and it is Pagan to make the catch. But we waited until that big drum solo in the middle. That was the key to that song. And once we heard that, we were all able to exit the premises.
Well, there haven't been many outs in the air tonight. A lot of ground ball outs for both pitchers in this game. You expect it with Greg Maddux on the mound. Roger Clemens maybe not quite as much, but both pitchers working effectively down around the knees.
Swing and a miss by Biggio. Yeah, I thought Inagata DeVito was coming up. Some Frampton. Freebird, the long version. I mean, that's what I was expecting for the superset.
Well, everything's a superset when Brady's involved.
That's right. Nobody leaves during my superset. Yeah, there were other people who weren't even a part of our group that he wouldn't allow to leave. One and two on Biggio. He got the scoring started right off the bat with a leadoff homer in the first inning. Pitch 100 coming up for Maddux. Clemens is already out, but a big time quality start for the Rocket. 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. The home run career hit 2,885. Nice catch by Scott Air. Telling Charlie Rutherford, yeah, it was foul.
Well, unfortunately, Scott Air could not catch this one. Craig Biggio's 9th home run of the season, leading off the ball game. Just into the front row above the basket. That's when the winds were kind of blowing across from right to left earlier in the game.
Knocked down by Ramirez. He has time, and he'll get the out. Stretch time.
Coming up in the ball game are Northern Illinois University basketball and football coaches Rob Judson and Joe Novak.
Everybody up, Cubs fans, Husky fans, let's let them hear us in DeKalb.
Ready, a 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if we ever get back, for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame.
strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Let's get some runs.
Let's get some runs, Cubs.
In these shark-infested waters, a team of scientists and one brave volunteer are about to find the answer to an important question. Is Diet Mountain Dew as much of a thrill as regular Dew? The results were clear. Diet Mountain Dew is all the dew with none of the calories.
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
Summer is heating up on Superstation WGN with 2 sizzling classics that will get your body moving and your pulse racing. First, Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey take hot to a whole new degree in Dirty Dancing. Then, Kevin Bacon breaks all the rules in Footloose. Heat up your summer with movies that move you. Dirty Dancing on Thursday, followed by Footloose Friday. What happens on the dance floor stays on the dance floor on Superstation WGN.
Jock Jones hits a just foul down the left field line as we start the last of the 7th. It is 3-0 Houston. Chad Qualls is on out of the Astros bullpen.
Boy, Jock just misses in his bid for another extra base hit. He doubled into the right field corner earlier in the ball game. Just misses that foul line down the third base side.
And the NIU football and men's basketball coaches, great job, Joe Novak and Rob Judson. Coach Novak, of course, we had you in here last year. BB, you had a great line. Chad and Jeremy with the 7th inning stretch.
They were great.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Great, thank you.
Great to be here. Great night.
Boy, what a night. Got to get some runs here late, but great pitching matchup tonight.
Well, to see Clemens and Maddux pitching together, that's a real treat, Len.
The 0-1 and a swing and a miss by Jock Jones. All right, the football side, what's going on right now is we're here in the middle of July. Getting ready, huh?
Just finishing up our summer program. The whole team's been out there all summer working. We're getting ready. We'll start camp here in 2.5 weeks. And we open with Ohio State, Lynn, so that's going to be a real challenge for us.
Boy, no doubt. And Jones missed it. So did Ausmus. He'll have to throw to first and complete the out. Top of the hour. Let's pause briefly for station identification.
This is America's home for sports all year round. Superstation WGN.
Stay tuned following the ball game. The WGN News coming up. Well, Coach Judson, what's going on with the basketball program? Maybe a little bit behind the football program with the schedule, right?
Yeah, exactly. Summer basketball, recruiting-wise for us right now, it's when college basketball coaches can go out in the month of July, watch summer basketball, evaluate the talent, and keep recruiting those kids that you're trying to get to put the ball in the basket for you.
Absolutely. Michael Barrett, 1 strike on him. First ever MAC West title in 06. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a great thrill for us. We had to win our last 4 games, 2 on the road in order to win the title, and kids did a great job. So we're looking forward to building on that.
I got to tell you guys, I'm a big fan of the Mid-America Conference, a graduate of Ohio University, and certainly we went to DeKalb, played some baseball early in the spring when it was really, really cold.
Bob, our second game is with Ohio U out in DeKalb, so you got a standing invitation.
I'll take you up on that.
We've always had a great rivalry with the Bobcats and in all sports, really. Yeah, it's a terrific league, the Mid-American Conference, as you know.
1-2 on Barrett, and that pitch is off the inside part of the plate. So I see, Coach, as of today, 9 games televised this year, and that exposure has to be wonderful.
Len, it's amazing. I was in Houston last year recruiting a kid, and he told me, he said his interest in the Northern was because of the exposure he could get. He said, I saw you on TV 6 times. You can't beat that. It's a wonderful thing. It's a real advantage in recruiting.
On the ground, and backhanded play by Huff. Long throw, and Lamb can't handle it. Michael's in. It will be a hit. So Michael Barrett 1 for 3.
Nice play by Huff just to get to that ball. Looked like it was possibly headed for the left field corner, but he gets over there and makes a nice backhanded play. It takes him a little while to gather himself. And then from that long angle, just can't get quite enough on the throw to get it over there in the air. And as usual, the Sarge, Gary Matthews, little body English over there in the box and helps the first base umpire, Paul Nart, make the call down there.
It's Angel Pagan with a walk and a double against Clemens. And he missed that pitch against Chad Qualls. Well, Rob, you've spent your entire basketball career basically in Illinois. Can you talk about the caliber of talent here in our state?
Been very fortunate to be in the great state of Illinois all my playing and coaching career. I'm real biased, Glenn, but outstanding talent in the state of Illinois. Great coaching, tremendous competition all year round, and particularly in the northern Illinois area.
I think a lot of people were very happy to see Dwayne Wade with the Miami Heat winning the NBA title, and tell you what, in the end, he may go down as one of the greats of all time.
He had a fantastic NBA Finals and tremendously talented individual. We have a young man coming to Northern from Richards High School in Cody Elder, so it wouldn't be bad if he followed in Dwayne Wade's footsteps.
2-1 on Pagan. Cubs trying to break the shutout. This is a specialty of the Houston Astros. They have 9 shutouts already on the year. Short lead by Barrett. Inching his way off first. And the 2-1 is tapped foul. So how many times you make it to Wrigley?
Second time this year.
Okay.
Not enough. I wish I could come more, but we came early in the year as a coaching staff, and of course being here tonight, it's a real treat.
Yeah, I'm sure when you found out it was going to be Clemens and Maddux.
I really got excited. No question about that. That's a classic matchup.
I'm sure the fact that Meatloaf was here tonight was a big thrill for you, too.
I asked my wife who it was. I hate to say that.
Meatloaf could have helped us with the 7th inning, maybe.
Oh, you did a great job.
He did.
2-2 on Pagan. Could be a double play. Pagan, though, has good speed, and he is not able to beat it out. It goes 4-6-3. Joe Novak, Rob Judson. Best of luck coming up here in 06. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
Give me a chance.
Do something to help me make it.
Make foster care better.
Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids.
The chest plate looks good, man. Let's call bringing my roommate Zagar to a nice restaurant a slight error in judgment.
Sure, we have some cultural differences.
Plus, he's a little shy. Get a picture real quick. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Luckily, we all love Bud Light. Maybe another one without the flash. Or else the night could have been awkward.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Do you want the perfect trip to Las Vegas? Just plan and book your entire Las Vegas vacation on LasVegas.com. Use LasVegas.com to book shows, hotel rooms, Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam tours, and more. LasVegas.com saves you time and money with great deals on air and hotel packages. LasVegas.com has your ticket to hundreds of hard-to-get Las Vegas shows like Celine Dion, A New Day, and Cirque du Soleil. You'll find the most comprehensive, up-to-date information about Las Vegas only on LasVegas.com. Our experts live and work in Las Vegas and know the city better than anyone else on the planet. You can use LasVegas.com's tips and reviews to plan your entire trip. And now with our amazing summer sizzle deals, you'll get a great hotel room for as low as $29.95 per night. We'll even give you a free monorail pass to get you all around the Strip. But you've got to call or log on to LasVegas.com right now. Remember, nobody knows Las Vegas like LasVegas.com. Get a great deal on the vacation of a lifetime. Call or log on to LasVegas.com right now.
Hey, Cub fans, visit att.cubs.com to learn all about the AT&T Summer Series. The Cardinals are coming to town. The AT&T Summer Series is delivering the rivalry to you like never before. Visit att.cubs.com. The new AT&T, your world delivered. That's coming up on the next homestand as the Cardinals are in. Scott Air is the new Cubs pitcher. Greg Maddux went 7. It was a quality start for him. But the Cubs trail 3-0. And he's facing Mike Lamb to start the 8th inning.
A great pitching performance by both starters in this game. You look back to that 6th inning. Mike Lamb led off with the base hit. You may remember the Cubs guessed correctly. They pitched out as Lamb attempted to steal second. Ronnie Cedeno could not hang in and apply the tag. That opened the door for the Astros to score a couple of tack-on runs and give them their current 3-0 lead. Of course, you never know exactly what would have transpired had things happened differently, but if Lamb is thrown out there at second base and the inning progressed the way it did, Maddux would not have even gotten to Aubrey Huff's spot in the lineup. Of course, Aubrey Huff had a single ahead of the 2 RBI double by Preston Wilson, but the fact is they probably shouldn't have been to that spot in the order.
Well, the Tigers evened up that series against the White Sox 5-2. The final in Detroit. They scored all of their runs in the 6th inning. So setting up the rubber game tomorrow. So the Tigers lead back to 4.5 over the Sox in the American League Central. Boston beat Kansas City 1-0 on a 4-hitter. So let's see, the Royals with 5 hits. Is that right? The last 2 nights in Boston. That's it. 1-0 was the final last night. Tonight, Josh Beckett got his 12th win. Checking on the Braves and the Cardinals, they have not started because of rain.
And the Braves have still scored 10 runs.
Yeah. Double digits in 5 consecutive games.
Wow.
For the Atlanta Braves. So they will get underway here in a few minutes. The last team in the big leagues to score in double digits in 5 straight games, the Yankees, in 1930. That was June 12th to June 17th of that year. 2 weeks earlier, the Cubs did it, June 1st to June 6th. 16, 15, 18, 10, 13.
There have been stretches of this season where both these managers have been looking to score 10 runs in a week. Astros have had a lot of problems scoring runs this season. The Cubs have gone through some stretches where offensively they couldn't seem to put anything together.
Two and 2. And Mike Lamb, Burke and Berkman to follow here in the 8th inning. Jose Canseco last night only got 1 out, gave up 4 runs in the All-Star game, the Golden Baseball League All-Star game. I assume his elbow is still intact, unlike the last time he tried to pitch, which was in '93 in the big leagues. He did win the home run derby, however. And former Cubs coach Buck O'Neill at 94 walked twice in an all-star game. So the oldest person ever to appear in a pro game.
That was neat the way that worked too. He led off for one team, and then they made a trade between innings, and he led off for the other team in the bottom half of the inning.
And he finally gets Lamb. That was a battle. Well, looky here. On Thursday, August 3rd, the Cubs battle the Arizona Diamondbacks at 1:20. The first 6,000 children aged 13 and younger will receive an exclusive Chicago Cubs Bob the Bear.
Yes.
Plush bear from Build-A-Bear Workshop. Compliments of Pepsi. So not only is it a bear, it is a plush bear. Do you know where your couch is? Backing up the truck, getting ready for the Bob the Bear Day.
See that Bob the Bear blocking that ball in the dirt right in the middle of the chest. Make sure it doesn't get by. That's my story anyway, and I'm sticking to it.
That is low. Novoa up. Three balls, no strikes. The dangerous Berkman on deck. I guess they had some storm damage at Busch Stadium. The press box windows blown out. The tarp was ripped. So they had some pretty high winds. Had to get the concession stands in order, clean up all the debris. Well, that sounded bad. Hopefully everybody's all right in St. Louis. Swing and a miss. So air back in it. 3-2.
Obviously, Mother Nature is a big baseball fan. She wanted to make sure that the Clemens Maddux matchup went off as scheduled.
Yeah, knock on wood, we've been really lucky weather-wise tonight. Just a few sprinkles, but nothing major whatsoever. It might not have even been rain. It might just, been flying water. It's like soup tonight. It's hot. Just the condensation swirling around. Berkman batting. Right-handed this time. See Scott with that changeup grip before he puts the ball in his glove. Fastball was low.
I don't think I'm giving away any state secrets when I state the fact that Scott Air rarely throws a changeup, but that's the pitch that's the toughest to get the grip on for him. So he starts with that changeup grip, and it's much easier to go from that to a fastball or to a slider or the two-seam fastball that he's been throwing a lot lately. It's much easier to go from the changeup grip to the other grips than vice versa. Now this time he just goes behind his back with the cross-seam fastball grip, so he's really trying to confuse the hitter. He was talking about that two-seam sinker, a pitch that he's really just started working on within the past couple of weeks here after talking to Greg Maddux about the grip on that pitch, and said he's gotten some big ground ball outs, some big swinging strikes on that two-seamer.
Astros lead this one 3-0. Pitchers of record on the upside, Clemens, the downside, Maddux at this point. Would be career win 343 for Clemens if it holds up. It would be career loss number 200 for Maddux. Clemens could jump into sole possession of 8th on the all-time victories list, right now tied with Tim Keefe at 342. Air with a 2-0, and Barrett's going to fire to first, but Burke wasn't very far off the base.
Boy, as hard as you try to will yourself into having energy at this point in the ball game, it gets progressively tougher and tougher to mentally will yourself to stay into the ball game. See Michael Barrett drop down to his knees a couple of times as he looked over to that third base dugout for the signs.
High fly to left. It's going to stay in. In fact, now Pagan went in about a step. Check out the upcoming Cubs and Sox games schedule in high definition on WGN Sports, sponsored by Comcast. Astros Cubs tomorrow. We're right back at it, 1 o'clock Central Time for the leadoff man. Rangers and White Sox next Saturday at 6. And then next Thursday, Cardinals come in. It's the first of 4. That's a night game, 7 o'clock Central Time. All in beautiful HD, sponsored by Comcast. Huff bats with 2 down here in the 8th. Giants came back late. They trailed 6-1 in the 3rd inning. But they beat the Brewers today 7-6.
One of the 2 outs that Scott Air got in the ball game last night was a fly ball to left field off the bat of Huff. Now Dusty was really able to patch the tail end of that ball game together well after Carlos Marmol went 6 innings, gave up only 4 hits and 1 run. Williamson for 2/3, Air for 2/3, Howery for 2/3, and then Ryan Dempster to close it out.
Cubs really keeping a close watch on Chris Burke. 7 steals on the year. He has not been caught. $40,344 tonight. Watching history. Only 2 300-game winners who are active. Tom Glavine may join them at some point, probably next year. Maddux and Clemens could match up again this season. You could have these guys match up again next year. Maybe a Glavine, Maddux tilt. But we've talked about it. There probably won't be a lot of 300-game winners down the road. The game has certainly changed. Specialized bullpens, 5-man rotations. Kicks away from Barrett, so they spent a lot of time holding Burke on at first, but that ball kicked away from the catcher, and Burke able to trot to second. Boy, you hate when that happens. I mean, it might be a minor thing, and the Cubs may get out of this inning, but obviously Scott Air paid a lot of attention to Chris Burke at first. But one bad pitch, and it's all for naught.
It seemed like we talked about it an awful lot in the early going this season. The Cubs' propensity for giving up 90 feet. They haven't done it so much lately, and I think it's reflected in the way they played lately. You give away 90 feet at a time. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but over the course of a ball game, it will cost you some runs.
And that is caught by Juan Pierre. 3-0 Astros.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
that new destination smell. Introducing Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service to Washington Dulles International. Fly from Chicago Midway for just $79 one way. Purchased by October 5th.
You are now free to move about the country. I learned a lot when I found out I had high blood pressure, but I didn't know it could lead to erectile dysfunction.
Having diabetes changed my life, but I didn't know it could lead to ED.
Guys should know that having certain health conditions like high blood pressure
or diabetes may lead to ED, and that Levitra can help.
Doctors know Levitra works for men with ED, even those with high blood pressure or diabetes. Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems or are on alpha blocker therapy, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away.
Imagine what Levitra can do for you. Talk to your doctor.
The more you know about ED, the more you'll want to know about Levitra.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, every employee takes pride in his work.
Scrubs, making house calls this fall.
Cub fans, pull out your disco shirts and platform shoes. The Cubs take on the Arizona Diamondbacks on Tuesday, August 1st at 7:05. Come celebrate the 10th anniversary of 70s Night with legendary David Cassidy, best known as teen idol Keith Partridge on the Partridge Family. 70s Night is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fans dressed in the best 70s outfits will receive airline tickets, compliments of Southwest Airlines.
Ba, 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 ba.
We're going to have to raid Bob Borwald's closet again.
Oh.
Get our garb for 70s Night.
Got to get some runs. Bottom 8. 3-zip. Well, Phil Nevin with a home run in 2 straight games. Sunday and then last night. He had a game winner last night. 3-run shot off Roy Oswalt. High fly. And it's Burke for the first out. One more happy birthday wish tonight to Jennifer Shaw from her husband Carl. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Nevin pinch hitting. The home run he hit Sunday night against the Mets was as a pinch hitter. Big swing and got a breaking ball from Qualls. The pitch he hit last night was a heater. It was a 3rd in a row, right, from Oswalt.
He clobbered it too. I think Oswalt went to the well maybe once too often, allowed Nevin to see 3 fastballs in a row. He caught up to the last one and hit it a mile. Something the Cubs haven't seen a lot of this year, the 3-run homer, but Nevin got all this one, no doubt about it, deep into the bleachers in left field. Gotta love those 3-run homers.
Cubs being out hit 7-4. They got 3 of their hits against Clemens. Never really put together a big threat against Clemens. Only once did they have 2 men on against the Astros starter tonight. That was in the 2nd inning, and it was with 2 outs.
Yeah, the other opportunity that apparently got away was when Juan Pierre led off the 6th inning with the bouncer over the head of Aubrey Huff at 3rd base, proceeded to steal 2nd, and then was stranded there as Walker, Lee, and Ramirez went down quietly, left Pierre standing at 2nd base.
Now Qualls needed a second to tie his shoe, and in the meantime it has started to rain and the fans are scattering. Fouled back, 3-2. There are some fans, I'm sure, who are just saying, let it rain, because it probably feels good. So Nevin is on with a walk. That works. He needs some base runners.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously Phil Nevin would have liked to have swung the bat, make something happen there, but at this point the Cubs need a couple of guys on base before somebody hits one up in the seats to make it worthwhile.
So Phil Garner came out and asked for the lefty. Trevor Miller will come in. Runner at first, Juan Pierre, and then Todd Walker. So a couple of lefties. It is raining, but we are continuing here in the 8th.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
We're on call for you.
Every day. Every day. Well, really just weekdays. And only for an hour.
Scrubs making house calls this fall on Superstation WGN.
So get this. We try this new little place. Say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was going to die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
On July 28th, the Cubs battle the Cardinals at 120, and the first 10,000 adults age 21 and over will receive a Cubs floppy hat, compliments of Bud Light. Bunted by Pierre toward third, picked up by Huff. The throw is in time on the bounce. What a play. They just got Pierre. I'm surprised.
Boy, I'm shocked. It looked to me like Aubrey Huff, when he picked up that ball barehanded, did not have a good grip on it. He got it way back in the heel of his hand, and somehow from the time that ball hit him in the heel of the hand, he was able to roll it around, get it up into his fingertips, and throw the one-hopper onto first base for the out. That is a heck of a play.
Nevin's now at second. There are 2 gone in the inning, and it's Todd Walker. High fly to right, backpedaling, still going back, Berkman, and it is a 2-run homer. 3-2. So a little redemption for Todd Walker after that rough night Sunday night. It is a 1-run game here in the 8th.
It's a loopy slider that just hung up over the inside part of the plate, about belt high. Had it high in the air to right field. The wind still blowing out to left center, but Walker gets enough of this one to get it up in the seats for a 2-run homer and cut the lead to 1.
And how big does that Huff play look now? Ooh. It is 3-2. Another pitching change from Wrigley.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp, with ideal flavor. It's clean, for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients. It's the smooth, flavorful result of Beechwood aging. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Can't we stay another day?
Sure. Florida. Easy to get to, hard to leave. Go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $69 internet specials from Chicago Midway to Florida. Purchased by July 27th.
You are now free to move about the country.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy so you can have more fun. So make your body happy. Drink more water. Aquafina.
Right-hander Dan Wheeler is on facing Derek Lee. It's a one-run game. Nobody on after the Walker two-run homer. Well, at the very least, you always want to go in, if you're going to trail in the ninth, to face that opposing closer in a one-run game as opposed to 2 or 3. But the inning is not over yet here in the 8th.
Yeah, ideally you take the closer right out of the equation here as you get one more look at Todd Walker belting a hanging slider. Our Southwest.com, how far did it fly? 369 feet. Just far enough to pull the Cubs within a run in this ball game.
A rough night for Lee. 0 for 3. All those at bats coming against Clemens. Two now. Howery up in case it remains 3-2. Dempster with him in case the Cubs were to get the lead. The next one didn't miss by a whole lot. 3-2. Fans are getting up. So a brief shower, but not raining at the moment. Cubs trying to take both Clemens and Maddux out of the decision tonight. And a base hit into center. Inning alive for Ramirez.
Good at bat by Derek Lee to get to the full count. Doesn't try to do too much with that pitch. It's an overworked cliche, but you try to pull that pitch out of the ballpark, you're going to hit an easy ground ball to the left side of the infield. Derek just stays on it, drives it hard back up the middle of the field, sets it up for Aramis Ramirez,
who has grounded out all 3 times. To short, to third, to second. To left, he splintered his bat. Wilson charging in, and he has it. Ramirez was going to slam his helmet down, but he got close to Mike Lamb and thought better of it. Well, Walker with a 2-run homer. It is now 3-2 as we go to the 9th.
I'm Greg Barron. You don't know me? You know my work. Wrote a little book called He's Just Not That Into You. On my new show, we're going to talk about all kinds of relationships. At home, at work, and we're going to fix them. No boo-hoo, poor me, wah-wah kind of stuff. Maybe a little wah-wah.
The Greg Barron Show. Coming in September to Superstation WGN.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy so you can have more fun. So make your body happy. Drink more water. Aquafina.
So get this. We try this new little place. Say to the waiter, surprise us. He brings this huge platter of food. Says, try it, you like it. I don't know what it is. Try it, you like it. I don't even recognize it. Just try it. You'll like it. So I did more than that. I ate it all. I thought I was going to die. So I took Alka-Seltzer.
For 75 years, Alka-Seltzer's been breaking up and dissolving away stomach discomfort and pain fast.
What? I skipped breakfast.
Alka-Seltzer.
Hello, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
No one to play with. Play online at partypoker.net, the world's largest poker school. More players, more tables, more winners. Sign up now to partypoker.net, the best place to learn how to win.
You folding?
Todd Walker giving this offense some life with a 2-run homer. So it's 3-2, and it's on Bob Howery now to keep the Astros at 3. Cubs can go after Brad Lidge in the bottom of the 9th, and he has had some struggles this season. Game number 50 for Bob Howery. This is game number 93 for the Cubs. So you can do the math. Bob Howery is poised to possibly set a new career high. 79 appearances last year with Cleveland. And he might get beyond that here in 06. Wilson hits that ball hard. Jock Jones leaps, can't get it. Wilson will end up at least at second. So that's a double for Wilson, his second double in the last 2 at-bats. Ball kind of took off, got over Jock, and the Astros threatened to get an insurance run.
Well, that's not the first time we've seen an outfielder fooled by a humpback line drive tonight. Jones takes a line straight towards the foul line in right field. That ball just kept going, got over his head with a leaping attempt right there.
So we'll see what Ausmus has up his sleeve.
He has put down 3 sack bunts on the season. Normally a very good handler of the bat. Phil Garner may allow him to go ahead and try to hit the ball to the right side of the field, possibly get a base hit. At worst, try to advance Wilson to third base with 1 out.
Bunted toward third. Howery fell down. It's picked up by Ramirez. They do get the out with Walker covering. Bob Howery slipped on the wet grass near the mound.
Yeah, fortunately, he's all right, and it's probably a good thing he did slip because he was out of the way as Oramas comes in to make this barehanded play. See, Howery just lays on the ground. He knows Ramirez's line of fire is going to be somewhere near where he is, so he just stays on the ground, gives Ramirez a clean throwing lane to first base. Todd Walker's there to take the throw for the out. Oh, we talked about it briefly in the ball game last night. You have to be concerned about a potential squeeze. Adam Everett at the plate, a very good bunter. Not the kind of guy that really drives a lot of balls into the gap.
So they continue to talk on the mound. And Larry Vanover is now, well, took 1 step and meeting adjourned. Well, we have a moment. I want to tell you that Chicago Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports, produced by Pete Toma. Our director Skip Ellison, our associate producer Mark Superset Brady, the executive producer of WGN Sports Bob Vorwald. Everybody in. 1 out, runner at third. They pitch out, so Dusty was thinking what you were thinking.
And sometimes if you pitch out once, you might as well go ahead and pitch out 4 times. I mean, Luke Scott is in the on-deck circle. He only has 4 at-bats in the major leagues this year. You know, if you happen to put Everett on base, and obviously you would if you pitch out 4 times in a row, it sets up a potential inning-ending double play.
Inside 2-0. I want to thank our stage manager Angie Adocio, our studio coordinator back at WGN PJ Crushell, and of course our entire great crew here at Hot Wrigley.
There it is.
There's the squeeze. Perfection. Everett is out. Wilson goes back to tap the plate just for good measure. So the suicide squeeze works for the Astros, and it's 4-2. Everett gets an RBI.
I mean, sometimes as a manager, you just ask yourself, what is the best chance for this hitter to drive in a run? And I think in a lot of cases with a runner at third base and less than 2 outs for Adam Everett, the best chance to score a run is to put down a squeeze button. Perfectly timed. You'll see Wilson starts his break from third base as Howery started his move toward home. It's like Wilson slid way too late there.
Here's Luke. Well, a pretty good year at AAA. They got the call up. Was leading the Pacific Coast League with 20 home runs, was second in the league with 63 RBIs. So a big insurance run for Brad Lidge, who will have at least a 2-run cushion starting the bottom of the 9th.
You mentioned Lidge has struggled somewhat this year. 21 out of 25 in save opportunities. 3 losses on the season. ERA of nearly 6. He's still very much a strikeout pitcher. Leads all major league relievers in strikeouts this season with 62, something he's done each of the last 2 years.
Got him, called strike 3. Looking at the flags in center, it's blowing straight out. Hopefully it'll continue that way. In the bottom of the 9th, the Cubs are down 2. We'll be back.
I'm Greg Barrett. You don't know me? You know my work. Wrote a little book called He's Just Not That Into You. On my new show, we're going to talk about all kinds of relationships. At home, at work. And we're going to fix them. No boo-hoo, poor me, wah-wah kind of stuff. Maybe a little wah-wah.
The Greg Barrett Show. Coming in September to Superstation WGN.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp, with ideal flavor. It's clean, for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients. It's the smooth, flavorful result of beechwood aging. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
IMAC marks the spot. It's time for Disney's new movie, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest, now in theaters. And the Big Mac meal could be your key to millions of high-tech treasures. Or you could win one of 28 new Volvos.
Hey, McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and Zinfandelin, and so's my new bride, Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make your feet feel outrageously comfortable.
I'm gelling.
You're so not gelling.
Dr. Scholl's.
When you need to send someone money in a hurry, Western Union offers you the Gold Card Rewards program. It quickly pulls your information, saving you time and paperwork.
Ah, your brother Scotty.
For every story, Western Union.
Well, both guys with quality starts tonight. Clemens 6 innings, no runs. Maddux 7 innings, 3 runs, 4-2 going to the bottom of the ninth.
Well, I mean, both pitchers did exactly what we expected them to do, what they've done throughout their entire careers. They go out there, they give their team a chance to win a ball game. And, you know, you can't help but look back at that stolen base, the failure to apply a tag by Ronnie Cedeno leading the way for a 2-run inning for the Astros, and that's the difference in the ball game right now.
So it's Brad Lidge. And some defensive changes for Houston. They go with the speedy Willie Taveras in center. Chris Burke moves in from center to second. So Biggio is out. Here we go from the wind. Ball one on Jones. Mentioned this before. Brad Lidge early in the year went to the stretch exclusively and it didn't work. They're going back to the windup with nobody on base. Now, one of the things the Astros have worked on with Lidge, the location of his fastball. He's really worked on not trying to fall toward the first base dugout, but right toward the plate and keep that heater straight to the target. I guess it had been leaking back over home plate.
Well, he's got 2+ pitches, that fastball in the mid to upper 90s, the slider that he'll throw in the high 80s with just devastating down and across break. Sometimes it goes straight down towards the ground. Very late breaking slider.
Half swing, but he went far enough. Well, that's a big pitch. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
I don't think there's any doubt he went on that pitch. But you're right, that's a huge swing pitch in the sequence.
Forces Jock to chase a pitch that wasn't in the strike zone.
I mentioned that Lidge has led the National League relievers the last 2 years in strikeouts. Back in 04, 94 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 157 batters, walked only 30.
Popped up by Jones. Will it stay in? Into the dugout. Brad Ausmus is not going to get a lot of help over near that dugout.
And Brad Ausmus, one of the only catchers that I know of that leaves his mask on when he chases pop fouls. He wears that goalie style mask. It's very light. The visibility is very good, but you know, still most catchers try to take that thing off as they pursue those pop-ups. He leaves it on.
For a big pitch coming up. Lidge does not want to walk the leadoff guy in front of one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, Michael Barrett, who would represent the tying run if Jones gets on. Crowd getting into it. Struck him out. So one away here in the ninth.
Well, that's a hole that people with good fastballs have exploited against Jock Jones this year. That down and in, either with a good fastball or a hard slider. Just can't quite catch up.
Barrett 1 for 3. Obviously seeing the ball well, and I'm Sure, there's not too much going on upstairs. I mean, that's good. You don't have to think about it that much. We mentioned how he kind of outthought himself against Clemens after catching him. With a clear head, and he has been right on top of it lately. Got under this one. Wilson will take it. Now, Michael's a smart guy. When I said not much going on up there, you knew what I meant, but didn't want it to be taken the wrong way.
Well, I knew exactly what you meant. We've talked about it before. Walter Alston said many times a full mind is an empty bat, which means the more you think while you're in that batter's box, the less your chances of doing something positive. See the ball and react to what you see. And that time Michael didn't miss that pitch by very much. He skied that a mile in the air, just a little bit under that fastball.
Cubs want to at least get the tying run to the plate and see what happens. That'll require Pagan to get on. He has reached twice on a walk and a double. And he's down to his final strike. If he does get on, it would be John Mabry. If he doesn't get on, Roger Clemens will pick up his 343rd career win. Here it is. Pulled foul on the ground. Will be the second victory this year for Roger Clemens. Both would be against the Cubs.
I thought Clemens looked much better tonight than the game we saw him earlier when he was just returning. Pitches were much crisper. His location was much better.
I mentioned it at the end of the last half inning that the wind is blowing straight out to center at the moment. That's why you'd like to see a guy get on and let Mabry swing away outside. So Pagan hanging in. It is 2-2 on him. Lidge ready to work again. Struck him out, and he goes 1-2-3 through the Cubs in the ninth inning. 2 strikeouts in the frame. And Roger Clemens with his 343rd win. Greg Maddux with his 200th career defeat. 4-2 Astros the final. We'll be back to Wrigley in a moment.
Next on WGN News, the Burge Report. Special prosecutors revealed details of torture and abuse by some Chicago police officers decades ago, maybe too long ago for some.
John Burge was a torturer.
Alleged torture victims and their lawyers are told it might be too late for justice, what they will do next. And 10,000 people rally in Grant Park for immigration reform. What's different about this group and what's next? All that and why the power is still out in some suburbs. The news is next.
Hey, Rod, if you're interested, there's a future for you in the beverage distribution industry.
Get what you want with Dell. Like this Inspiron B130 notebook with an Intel Celeron M processor for just $479. Dell, purely you.
Zap2it.com is the go-to website for everything movies. Want news and reviews right now? Zap to it. Gotta see the latest trailers? Zap to it. Need local showtimes and theater info? Zap to it. Avoid the long lines and get your tickets online at Zap2it.com. Plus celebrity gossip, photo galleries, the latest DVD releases, and more. For everything movies, fast and easy. Zap2it.com. What to watch, where to watch it.
For the Houston Astros tonight, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 5 men left. For the Cubs, 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors, also 5 left. The winner is Roger Clemens. Sole possession now of 8th on the all-time wins list. 343 career victories. He beats Greg Maddux. Remember, Maddux beat Clemens last year in Houston. Maddux now 7-11. And Brad Lidge gets save number 22 in a game that took 2 hours and 52 minutes. Budweiser play of the game. I mean, we got to go really right off the bat, literally. Craig Biggio leading off the ball game with career leadoff homer number 49. He's second all-time.
A future Hall of Famer in his own right decided he was going to upstage the Hall of Fame pitchers tonight and put the Astros on the board right away.
This is Budweiser. This is beer. Our next broadcast of Chicago Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. Right back here tomorrow afternoon. Cubs and Astros wrap up the homestand. Andy Pettitte and Carlos Zambrano, another terrific matchup on the mound. We're on the air 1 o'clock Central Time with the Leadoff Man Show. So for Bob Brentley, Pete Thomas, Skip Ellison, Mark Brady, Bob Forwald, and our entire crew, this is Len Casper saying good night from the friendly confines, and we now invite you to stay tuned for the WGN News, which is next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light, always worth it. The Illinois Lottery, no matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs. Comcast, catch the Cubs home games on WGN in HDTV on Comcast. Call for a great offer. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit Southwest.com today.
I am someone who is looking for love, consuming real love.
Sex and the City, 7 nights a week on Superstation WGN.
Stubborn warts? Why wait for a doctor when you can do the same treatment at home? Introducing Dr. Scholl's Dual Action Freeze Away. It's twice as effective as freezing alone. It combines freeze technology and a maximum strength liquid. To remove large warts, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
People could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance by switching to Geico. It says here, new customers report average annual savings of over $500.
Easy money.
Easy money. You do have to go to Geico.com.
Which is like what? Asking you to stand up? Hello there, you know, if you stand up, you could save loads of money. I doubt you're going to be like, no thanks, I'm so rich, I think I'll keep my seat.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're live with Dennis Rodman. So, Dennis, you're a world-class player.
That's my player.
You've played in Chicago, Detroit, and Los Angeles. Tell me, who are you going to play with next?
I'm going to play at GoldenPalace.net, the world's most exciting online casino. GoldenPalace.net, the new and exciting online casino school. Just hit click here to play to start learning, and it's absolutely free. GoldenPalace.net.
And where the real players play.
Superstation WGN is your summertime home for Sex and the City.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Interrogations involving alleged shock boxes and plastic bags. A 4-year investigation finds evidence of police torture under the command of John Burge. Good evening. I'm Tom Negative.
I'm Jackie Bang. Allison and Steve are off tonight. Let's begin with the report itself. WGN's Juan Carlos Vanhul is here with all 300 pages of it.
Jackie, 2 special prosecutors were appointed 4 years ago to look into over 100 complaints of police torture, most at Area 2 Police Headquarters decades ago. The report finds several cases of abuse, but as it turns out, they can't be prosecuted.
What you are looking at, the results of a $6.1 million investigation. It is 300 pages long, over 1,000 more in a special disc. All of it has to do with the alleged police torture of scores of African-American suspects in the 70s and 80s.
The allegations of brutality, torture, seemed to center on over the period of the time that John Burge was in command.
He was the Chicago police commander who special prosecutors claim allowed the violence against prisoners to take place. One alleged victim was Andrew Wilson, a convicted murderer of 2 Chicago police officers. In this letter sent to then Police Superintendent Richard Brezek, shocking details of alleged brutality. A prison doctor found Wilson had suffered, quote, radiator burns. He also stated that electrical shocks had been administered to his gums, lips, and genitals, possibly with an electrical shock box like this one.
I stand by what I did.
Brezek, now a criminal defense attorney, takes a pounding in the report. Prosecutors writing he did not do enough to investigate the allegations internally.
I didn't abuse anybody. I didn't cover up. I didn't, I have no reason to lie. There's no motivation. I have no connection to Burge.